What did I just read? Black Clover chapter 215 was really weird, guys. So Sean here, and today we're going to talk about the chapter. This video is going to contain massive spoilers, so if you do not want to be spoiled, please read the chapter. You have been warned. This chapter could be grouped into 3 parts, and the first part had to do with Julius's interactions with not only William but Yami. As far as his interaction with Yami is concerned, he harbored a lot of happiness, and I think Yami himself was happy as well, though he brushed it off. And there's also the interaction between Julius and William. Now, the way things stand, it seems as if Julius is rooting for William to become the next Wizard King, not because of merit but because of the situation of the kingdom. First, you have to understand that the kingdom is in shambles right now, and obviously if the Wizard King is there, then it means that he would obviously warrant the hatred of all of the kingdom because he was unable to protect the kingdom during this very critical moment. And obviously, since Julius has committed a lot of heinous stuff, I don't know how William is going to do this, but he will also have to deal with Fuego and Nozel, who are aiming to be the next Wizard King. Having William Vengeance become the next Wizard King before Fuego or Nozel is going to be problematic, since they are not only royals but are probably some of the strongest captains there. So in order to convince them, I don't know how Julius is going to do this, but he will have to convince them, and at the very least make sure that they agree or they come to terms with that. Since Julius now is weaker than most of the Magic Knights, I don't know how he's going to do. First, because he's the Wizard King and still could provide a lot of assistance. When I mean assistance, he could provide a lot of technical know-how since he's been in the business for long. And obviously how I see how things could turn out or pan out would be that William Vengeance would become the next Wizard King, but the Wizard King would obviously be a duo between him and his sensei, that is Julius Novachrono, with Julius Novachrono being the Wizard King behind the scenes and William Vengeance being the face. So that's how I think things could actually turn out in that regard. Then there is now the situation of the kingdom. Like I've always said, and I think that Tabata has just corrected one of my theories and made them valid. I even said this in my last chapter analysis. Like I always said, the kingdom is in shambles, which means that it is the ideal opportunity for the next kingdoms, that is the Spade or the Diamond Kingdom, to attack. Now, as far as the Diamond Kingdom is concerned, we actually have to assume that the blood concoction the witch queen gave to Mars and the other was able to convince the king, because it could be possible that the king is also a very strong dude and was able to resist the spell she had cast in the blood, and that is the resultant of it being that the kingdom is still under the control of this king and he still wants a share of the Clover Kingdom. So that in itself could be very problematic for the Clover Kingdom, since they would have to deal with another military might that has not been affected in any way. So that would be a very drastic problem. The consequence of this would be probably that the Diamond Kingdom would invade and succeed to conquer the Clover Kingdom, which is a situation I don't think the Wizard King wants for the kingdom right now. Then there is the other nation, which is by far the strongest in terms of military might and in size, which is the Spade Kingdom. Obviously, I think of the two, this is the most likely to attack right now, because it appears that they are so strong that a mission from the Clover Kingdom to the Spade Kingdom had to involve the Wizard King. That just shows you how strong these guys are, and they'll obviously be the immediate threat to the national security of this kingdom. So I believe that the elves might actually also have a role to play, like I said in my previous chapter analysis in this, since they are actually one of the reasons why the kingdom is in shambles. They could at the very least constitute an elite force that could serve as the first line of barrier against the Spade Kingdom Knights, whereas the kingdom reorganizes and dispatches a force which is strong enough to deal with this force. So yeah, we haven't seen the elves. I don't want to believe that they've left already, because there's still a lot of reorganization to do. Last but not the least is the fact that Asta could die. Now, this came to me as a surprise because I never expected it, to be honest, but in some ways you could actually see that happening, given Asta's demon has a goal and we do not know the goal. First, we knew that he wanted to take control of Asta's body, but now we do not know what his essential final goal is, because he could at the very least also want to have his body revived if that is the case, or some other heinous or malicious intent. So I'm kind of worried with this statement, because it might mean that the fact that Asta powered up that much in this last act might actually have a very important consequence on him, and that being the fact that his body is unable to bear the weight of the anti-magic that's flowing through him, and that is why he might result in death. So I really want to know why the Wizard King Julius has talked essentially about Asta. As of last chapter, we knew that Asta was being healed by Mimosa, and apparently in this chapter he seems okay. So there is a problem when it comes to that statement, and I'm worried it has to do with something other than what we already know. Might be it has to do with the demon destroyer sword, because we have to remember the fact that Gosh told Asta that that sword he was wielding has a weight, and there's going to be a lot of consequences because of the sword he's using right now, and Asta never mind it and continued using the sword. I believe it's even because of this sword that they're able to take out the elves once and for all. So it's going to be really difficult to analyze and understand the situation at hand, but I believe that this actually has to do with the demon destroyer sword and what Asta has been doing with it, because Asta was able to break a lot of spells, and some of those spells were top tier spells. So probably there's going to be consequences for using the sword to do that, and the resultant could be in his death, since he was able to seemingly exorcise people, that is, cast out the elves or disactivate the reincarnation magic on certain individuals, causing the souls of these individuals to return to the world of the dead. So it would be really interesting to see how things fare off in that aspect as well. Then there's also the fact that it wasn't talked about in the chapter, but I'm going to make a separate video on it. It seems there is an existing race of elves within the current era, and I'm going to show you guys a couple of pictures in that video when it comes to the reasons why I believe this is a very possible outcome. And if there is a current race of elves, then that is good news, which means that since the elves and the humans have reconciled, there's no need for these guys to be in the hiding anymore, and as a result they could at very least help the kingdom fight against enemies if they actually enter into their territory. So that's all I had to say about this chapter. I think I've touched all the points. Let me know your thoughts about Sekre Swallowtail's backstory. You guys should actually tell me what you guys think about the situation of the kingdom at hand now. Do you guys believe that the kingdom is going to be attacked, or do you guys believe that it was probably a bluff from Julius? But the situation at hand is real, and it obviously is the ideal opportunity for the Spade Kingdom. Let me also know your thoughts on how strong a Spade Kingdom captain could be. Could he be Yami level or even stronger than Yami level? Like I said, a mission to the Spade Kingdom had to do with the Wizard King, meaning that they had to summon many captains, vice captains as well as the Wizard King to carry out that mission. So that just shows you how strong those guys are. I'll be really interested to see whether things are the way they are when it comes to the Spade Kingdom. Also, let me know your thoughts on whether you guys believe that a magic spirit could also dwell within the Spade Kingdom. So that's basically it, guys. Have an awesome weekend as always, and I'll see you guys real soon. Peace.